What's up, guys? Kevin Cage here with another crypto update. We have XRP on the move today, currently around 70 cents. We're going to cover that. We're going to cover HBAR and Casper. So first up, looking at this price chart, this is the crypto total market cap excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum, so really the entire altcoin market. We have a little excitement in the market, certain assets are starting to recover a bit, and I know it's nowhere near actual euphoria or even close to all-time highs, but it's great to see some price movement. And looking at the previous cycle, when we actually took off and the altcoin market did an 800% move or a 9x, we can see right here the weekly RSI was piercing into overbought well above 70, and it actually remained in this area for weeks on end. So this is just the altcoin market excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum, and we can see that the all-time high was just over 1 trillion at 1.13. Weekly RSI is around 63 or 64, so it's getting close to that level. I do believe once we can pierce this level, we can get that big pop. So last cycle, when Bitcoin was pushing into all-time highs, we had an 800% impulse over a 9x. Now, I'm not saying we get another 9x, but the probability that we can get a 2, 3, even 4x from this level is very high, especially long-term. If I didn't believe the crypto asset class would surpass its previous highs that it hit in 2021, I wouldn't be in this market. As far as I'm concerned, we're still in this range. Some assets are recovering, and it's great to see. But there is still a variety of fair value gaps above and different sell-side imbalances that we're likely going to hit in the future. Even this higher gap up here, we can see we got tested with a wick, but it's still open. And then looking at total too, this is the entire crypto asset class, every single crypto and its market capitalization except for Bitcoin. We've had some strong weekly candles, great to see up 20%, RSI is getting up there, but the big moves historically happen when we can pierce into overbought and the momentum is at an all-time high. In every multi-year bear market trapped in accumulation, just ranging, pump, crash, just faking everybody out, not quite breaking out yet. This creates a lot of cynicism, and when the bull run actually comes, whether it's a bull run into all-time highs or even just a retracement to close these gaps, a lot of people are going to be skeptical. And rightfully so, but take a screenshot right now of Twitter sentiment and just overall retail investor sentiment because it's going to be vastly different when we're up here. Now looking at XRP on the weekly from its previous swing high back in 2013 to its swing low, we can see that big impulse during the super cycle we reached the 55 fib extension, came all the way back down to the 2 extension and then retraced to the 34. The 89 fib extension, where a variety of assets have already hit, including Doge, XLM, Bitcoin, and Ethereum, we can see is at $5.20, so remember that value. So I personally believe that XRP creates an all-time high price. I had no idea that it would take so long. I've owned it since 2017, and ever since 2018, I've been waiting for this to create a new high. It has been following what Bitcoin has done in terms of a fractal, retracing to the 50%, close to the 618, coming back down to the 0.059, and after this level, Bitcoin went at least to a double top of the 3618. That is over $11. Cardano went just above the 2 extension, maybe around $7, and even XLM came up to the 100% retracement. I think if you're super conservative, look at the 1618, the golden ratio at $5.30, very close to that $5.20 level, which is also that 89 fib extension. And I can understand the frustration of waiting over 2,000 days for XRP to hit an all-time high price and that creating a lot of doubt. But there have been too many developments over the past 5 to 6 years for me to think otherwise and think that XRP doesn't actually create a high. I believe it does create a new all-time high. We had Robbie Mitchnick that used to work for Ripple. What did he do after he wrote the Ripple Valuation Framework showing XRP's value with different models with Susan Athey between $6 to $32? After writing that paper, he was hired by BlackRock as head of digital assets. And also within Dubai, XRP had some very big news because now the Dubai International Financial Center, which is a huge zone with hundreds of fintechs, all of these financial firms in the Dubai Financial Center will be able to leverage XRP. And the DIFC is huge, 20-year track record comprised of 72 countries and the GDP of approximately 8 trillion with 3 billion people. So we have Ripple getting the payments license from Singapore and their central bank, or the MAS. We have Japan, we have UK's FCA saying XRP is not a security, we have Switzerland. And although the US is slow, XRP is not a security. And now we finally see the SEC going after SafeMoon, which should have been a priority a long time ago. We have Brad Garlinghouse speaking at the DC FinTech Week as well, alongside the FCA, the Federal Reserve, and my favorite person, sarcasm, Gary Gensler. So we have public and private participants, the United States under Secretary of the Treasury for Domestic Finance. Do I believe that ODL will be used in the United States as soon as they can find a nexus or connection point like David Schwartz said? Absolutely. And am I exhausted of waiting during every multi-year bear market? Absolutely. Last bear market was more bearable because we had a good retracement for the altcoin market and some alts performed 5 times better than what we've seen today. But just because a bear market is long, this lack of liquidity and it's brutal, it doesn't change my expectations provided I still see developments, I still see regulation growing, I see tokenization growing, I see DeFi products, custody, etc. And if I listen to all the guys that told me to give up on crypto in 2018, 2019, 2020 when prices were crashing, they said, see, I told you crypto's a scam, I wouldn't have done so well in 2020 and 2021. I'm not listening to those people with the same pessimistic outlook during every single bear market. Most people that have been in this market for years, whether they've experienced one full cycle or even 2 full cycles, they understand and they're going to be here for future cycles. Yes, crypto is volatile, it is super rough, it is not for the faint of heart. You should not be investing any money that you cannot afford to lose. But accumulating strong projects at multi-year lows during a bear market has always worked out when you zoom out. Within market cycles, there are times to be conservative with your capital, save capital, deploy it every week, every month, depending on where we're at in the levels. But during bull runs, when Bitcoin breaks into new highs, that is when the altcoin market absolutely explodes, and that's the time to take those higher risk plays, or at least how I see it and where I try to compound. And one of my trading bots that trades a bunch of different alts is up over 16% in 40 days. So that's over 16%. We're not even in a bull market. I've never ran certain bots during an actual bull run. If I can get 1%, 3%, or even 5% in a month during a bear market, I'm very excited to see what I can do during a bull run. The potential in crypto during bull runs is vastly different than the potential in the stock market or even real estate. However, crypto is a lot more volatile. The 90% crashes can absolutely ruin you if you have exposure and you're not staggering profits out. But during a bull run, there are so many things you can do. Even with trading bots making 16 or 17% per month, that is almost 3x or a 200% increase in a single year. And if you just have a long-term exit plan and a buy and hold strategy, when Ethereum and different assets absolutely explode, there's huge potential. So Ethereum from this cycle low actually almost did a 60x. From this cycle low, it did well over a 50x. A 50x, even to get back up to all-time high, that's 400% or a 5x. When ETH and Bitcoin push into all-time high prices historically over the past with years of data, that is when we can see those alts fly, and these high caps, mid caps, small caps, even micro caps do much higher returns than Bitcoin and Ethereum. But since Bitcoin and Ethereum are the largest assets in this market, a lot of that money comes to these assets first before it rotates to the others. We can see Roth has been taking off over 7 cents, up 80%. We have HBAR getting closer to 6 cents at 5.8 cents. And their TPS on mainnet is over 2,000 transactions per second, one of the leading chains in the entire space. Even XDC has done fairly well in 2023, wicking as high as 9 cents, doing almost a 400% or a 5x. We've been below 3 cents, we've been below 5 cents, we're getting back up there at 5.5 cents, even wicking the other day to 7 cents. We have Casper on the left and Tel on the right, they're both on the weekly time frame. As we can see, Casper's weekly RSI or momentum is getting back above 50 into bullish territory. When Tel's RSI was pushing through 50, we moved higher. Same thing for XDC here and here. Same thing for Roth, pushing through the 50 line where Casper's at today, so I believe that Casper is going to follow. We've seen a variety of assets with similar market caps or even market caps that are larger than Casper push above 5 cents to even 7 cents. A lot of retail investors will see something pump or do a 3x in a bull run and they'll buy that because their other project just isn't moving for weeks rather than just waiting. I don't chase gains, I position myself and I wait. Anybody that has a lot of money in crypto should do much more than just watch YouTube videos. Go through the GitHub, go through the website, read every single blog, do some LinkedIn stalking, go through the Telegram, do keyword searches for different topics you don't know. There's all types of information available. So looking at XRP over the coming weeks, I would like to see us reclaim over 80 cents. We also have that fair value gap at $1.10 that is still open that we've been talking about all year. I thought in the summer Bitcoin was going to go to 40K, and with that 40K push, a lot of alts were going to recover sooner. So we haven't had that huge move just yet, but I do believe it's coming. And also, side note, I've seen 4 or 5 comments this year asking if I use AI to read in my voice. I wish I could do that. If I did, I would be doing 3 to 5 videos a day instead of per week. I'm just quickly trimming and merging my clips together because sometimes I say or I even just completely rant off topic for another minute or two, and I want to make my videos more concise. For any longtime viewers since 2018, even the start of 2021, I used to just hit record and go, and I would just say one take uncut because I never trimmed it. So I started trimming videos to make them more concise, and I also noticed that people don't want to listen to 30 or 40 minutes of me ranting. I don't script my videos, I have the topics I want to cover, I just hit record and go. I just use Voicemeeter with the Shure SM7B mic on my PC, but I'm actually fixing that right now, so I'm stuck on my laptop, so that's fun. And if you're an audio engineer, you can clearly hear my attempts at quickly merging clips together. That sounds super weird, but no, it's not AI. Next up, shared by Tokenizer. This is a paper right here in collaboration with Bain & Company. Remember that the CEO of Casper Labs, Renal, used to work at Bain. We can see this is a paper by the World Economic Forum. So this report is about the evolution of NFTs. And to no surprise, Casper Labs is a contributor in this paper and a couple hints of Casper because of its unique NFT standard with CEP 78. And this report ranged from financial services, brand rewards, collectibles, etc. We can see interoperability standards will have to be developed to overcome technical hurdles. Talking about intellectual property, which is a massive market that will be more efficient in the future. So out of the S&P 500's market cap or market value of over $30 trillion, 30% of that $30 trillion is intellectual property. So we're talking billions, arguably trillions and trillions of dollars. So we have Joe Benzo and Steve right here, Director of Strategic Relations, Casper Association and Casper Labs. And the NFT features of Casper Network are very unique. You can set up different types of WASM deploys and have named keys with the owner's account, and this provides stronger types of guarantees around ownership of the asset, which is super important to have that flexibility for enterprise adoption. You know that Casper is one of the only companies chosen by IBM to join their partner program. We also know that IBM is on Hedera's governing council. And IBM and Casper presented side by side in Davos at the World Economic Forum. They've demonstrated swaps across a private Hyperledger fabric to Casper's public network using IBM's Weaver. So Hyperledger fabric is absolutely massive. They're in full production with private instances using companies like Walmart for supply chain. What I'm excited for is the growing adoption to leverage these public frameworks as well. And just like Tokenizer says, this falls under the same framework of the SATP. This is the Secure Asset Transfer Protocol standard that was founded by QNT and MIT. So we've talked about blockchain 1, 2, 3, and 4, and this is different than Web 1, Web 2, and Web 3. We're talking about hybrid networks leveraging the power of private but also public chains. That's where I personally see the highest level of enterprise adoption. And that's something I see Casper Labs tackling very uniquely for enterprise adoption. In NFT markets today, I get it, are super silly, especially in a bear market with different pictures and JPEGs of monkeys, but NFTs are digital certification of anything. This is going to be digital IDs, contracts, any type of agreement in the future. And not everything needs to be on a public chain, but there is so much data and so many transactions that will actually go public. And in this report, there are a bunch of massive companies, including Circle, PayPal, Visa, Google Cloud, Santander, etc. And again, this report was made in collaboration with Bain Capital, where the CEO of Casper Labs used to work. Just like Tokenizer says, we have Davos 2024 right around the corner. We also have Sarsen Funds right here. Exciting news, Sarsen Funds, Casper Network stablecoin, the CSPR USD, is taking a big step forward with Custodia Bank as the banking service provider. Stablecoin regulation is gaining traction in the US, aiming to bring order to the crypto market. We can see Hedera sharing right here. Hedera #1 above Solana, BNB, Polygon, Ethereum, Algo, Bitcoin, etc. #1 with over 2,000 transactions per second. And you can go to hederatransactions.com. We have surpassed over 27 billion transactions on mainnet. You can look at different block explorers or go to Dragonglass and look at the levels of transactions, how much was put through HCS, Hedera's consensus service. And I know Hedera isn't at an all-time high price, but it's great to see that actual utility is driving the bulk of these transactions with applications like Atma.io, assigning digital IDs to billions, not millions, billions of products in real time connected to Hedera. And shared by Panos, this is what XRP and blockchain technology in general do. So this is for cross-border payments. This is what the standard should be in remittances and cross-border payments. You can see the global average transaction fee with traditional banking, 3 to 7%. Payment gateways, 3% plus the foreign exchange rates. Western Union getting a little cheaper, under 3%. With Tranglo, it is below 0.5%. This might not seem like much, but when you consider that the cross-border markets are sending over $155 trillion per year, this is a huge deal, and every single percent matters. And we know legacy infrastructure, they make billions of dollars in revenue based on their fees because the big three banks, HSBC, JP Morgan, and Citi, oversee 80% of the remittance market or cross-border transfers. And to send money abroad, you're using their infrastructure, you're paying 1%, 3%, and it really adds up. So JP Morgan, HSBC, Citi, they have to adopt blockchain, but they're still trying to keep their own private control to some degree with these private chains. Last but not least, we have iTrustCapital linked in the top of the YouTube video description and in the pinned comment. This is where I grow my crypto 100% tax-free. My XRP bag is up. I've had a Roth IRA specifically with iTrustCapital since 2020. So I can grow a portion of my bag 100% tax-free, paying 0% in capital gains. So this is my long-term investment nest bag to have exposure in the crypto asset class. Once again, this platform is free. There's no startup fee, there's no monthly fee, there's no hidden fee, there's no custodial or management fee. It is free. The only time you pay anything is if you decide to trade or buy and sell. If you have a long-term strategy, you are not paying anything. If you do, it's a 1% transaction fee. This is essentially the same as Coinbase with a 1% transaction fee, except with iTrustCapital, my assets are held in enterprise-grade cold storage. And to be clear, this isn't for everybody. It was a huge fit for me, and it's a big fit for some people. I had a Roth IRA in the S&P 500 that I rolled over into crypto years ago. And even with the S&P 500 pushing into all-time highs over the past 10 years, I've still made more X's or multiple X's on my bag in crypto. So feel free to check out the link in the video description if you want to create an account. If you create an account using the link below, you also get a $100 funding reward. They leverage a qualified custodian. They're valued at over $1 billion. If they go out of business, which I don't see happening, you still get your funds by law. A lot of retail investors hold too much money on exchanges when it should always be in cold storage. If those exchanges go down and you didn't actually read the terms and conditions, you might not actually even get your money back. With iTrustCapital, I always will. I'm going to have long-term exposure in crypto regardless. If I made crazy money and I wanted to withdraw it or even just roll it back into the S&P 500, I could at any time. So anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Monitoring Casper on the weekly, waiting for IPWe's mint to start, just following the Telegram and Casper, looking for commentary, looking for the mints, looking at the contracts and any updates with deployments, and it's just another waiting game. So I hope you enjoyed, and I will catch you in the next one.